Today we're going to give our initial impressions of the Uppababy Cruz V3 that recently launched but isn't available here in Norway yet, where the main body of changes have been made to the seat, which is now hinged at the middle, allowing for a full flat, newborn acceptable recline, complemented by a newborn apron integrated into the leg rest that can be constructed to make the seat more nest-like, an included infant insert, and a new drape in the front of the canopy for added shade. On top of this, the harness now has a magnetic buckle like the Vista V3, the shoulder straps can be positioned a little lower than before, and the leg rest adjustment mechanism has been changed to be usable with one hand. These are all nice features, though there are a couple of disadvantages to note here, with the first being that the ability to adjust the position of the seat to lay flat does make for a more complicated seat frame mechanically, and thus an added place for potential problems down the line, while more importantly, the seat dimensions are now smaller, both in terms of width as well as the length of the sitting surface, which is a bit of a shame, as that ability to provide better comfort for older toddlers was always a nice cherry with the V2 in my opinion, on top of the model's other positives, like its huge basket and noticeable shock absorption. In addition, I also sort of suspect that the feel of just using the V2 with the infant snug seat, rather than all of these fancy new newborn features, might make for a less mechanically messy setup. Beyond the seat frame, the weight and dimensions of the Cruz V3 seem very similar to the V2, with the V3 being only a hair heavier, 12 kilos versus 11.6, while the fold is a bit more compact due to the leg rest now folding down a little further, the backrest seeming to recline better within the chassis, and the ability to fold down the bumper bar. Though, since there's still no clear place to lift the model, it does seem even more likely that people will use the bumper bar for this purpose now, which could lead to it breaking. Most of the mechanisms on the chassis appear the same, other than smaller details like reflective paint on the wheels, though there is one larger visible change made to the chassis in that the suspension struts have been moved within the frame, which on its own is unlikely to vastly change how shock absorption feels on the model, but does have the positive effect of slightly widening the entry point to the shopping basket. So those are the major changes made to the Cruz V3 from what I can see in any case. We'll definitely buy it in for a full review when it eventually makes it here, which tends to take a long time with Uppababy. We're still waiting on the new menu. But in the meantime, if you have any experience with the model, we'd love to hear about it in the comments. In addition, I'd also like to note that if you're currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide on our Patreon page, which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle related information. You can find it by following the link in the description. Thank you.